Modelo time.
All right, we have officially started the podcast, and the first words on it were, "It's Modelo time."
I'm a disembodied voice until I find the bottle opener.
Life goal achieved. All right, so this is, I guess, the first podcast the second time around. We've got an all-star lineup here tonight, and by that I mean we have your host Miles slash Mika, and then your host Fox Capone, who is currently getting a Modelo, and we've got our special guest Artem Karats.
Nope,
Um, nope.
Nope,
my
that's not the
name.
name.
That's not my name. How dare you?
Use his KGB name.
Oh, right, right, right. What's your undercover name? Is it Land Shark? I'm gonna be annoyed if it's Land Shark.
No. Okay, first of all, I'm not a narc. Second of all, if you want my Christian name, what my mother named me, it's none of that gibberish that you just mentioned.
Oh,
It's wait, what was it? What was it last time? Forgot.
Rudejevich, Beorgovich,
Oh
Smorgovich.
yes, I am Gregory Boyovich.
Okay. Well, Gregory, you're the guest, so we'll start with what's going on with you.
Oi,
Oi.
where do you want to begin?
Begin at the beginning or at the end.
From
Both are very valid storytelling devices.
Well, the end of the story involves me laying in a pool of my own blood. It's the year 2070, December 3rd.
You
Am I
think we're
there?
gonna make it to 2070?
Uh, Let me answer these questions because they're very important. Yes, Fox, you're there. You're the one killing me.
Makes sense.
Miles, yes, we make it to that age and that year. It's a very traumatic life after the third Trump Imperium. But
Mm.
hey, we made it.
That's when they started the death games, right? Was the third one or the second one? Must have been the second one.
I lose track after the third extermination.
Yeah. But I feel like you're being wildly overconfident in estimating a 2070 death date.
What do you
when did
mean?
it? Yeah.
I mean, I
I
feel
know
like the
that.
world
I
is
know that's
just
gonna
literally gonna
happen.
burn down. So you're gonna be like one of the last people living in like a little bubble of society in the burnt down husk of the world.
Absolutely not. People are cockroaches. They'll survive far after I'm gone.
All right, I'm just saying the chances of you
Like
and
bunkers.
Fox both surviving the apocalypse and then hanging
We're
out together
you
and
know,
then
just
him
survivors.
murdering you. Oh, I guess
I
it
mean,
could be like a
the
sort
human
of
race is
post
living there,
wasteland
Reddit.
thing where like you betray him and then he hunts you down
Yeah,
for like 15
I
years.
was wondering what I did or you did in order
Yeah.
for me to think death was the.
Yeah, I think maybe I stole your water or something.
Mm. He left you stranded without any water.
I stole your gate. You stole my Gatorade.
Yes.
Yeah,
In the
that's
in the future apocalypse, there's only Gatorade left, and it's all Gatorade orange.
and stealing someone else's Gatorade Orange is the number one rule. It's absolute haram.
Absolute haram. All right, so let's move on to I guess Fox. What's going on with your life, Fox?
Still in a swamp. Still live in the swamp.
Nice.
I own a house in the swamp, so
Okay.
I'm
Is it
still
sinking at all?
constantly sinking,
Okay.
constantly flooding, um, constantly being consumed by people from other cities. But that's much like the city y'all are in. I spend most of my time dangling my legs off my back porch into the swamp. Um,
How many times a year would you say you get cold?
oh, very, very infrequently. It got pretty cold last winter, but I think it only felt cold because it's like probably 100 degrees almost every day.
Like, do
And if
you own a jacket?
I do actually,
It's put away for the summer or for 9 months a year.
it's actually pretty. I don't know where it is. Yeah, I have a couple jackets. Sometimes I'll just wear a jacket if it's hot, just to make people around me upset. And they're like, "Why do you have that jacket on?" And I'm like, "Great question."
Fox,
That's right.
I have
And
a
then I
big
take out
question.
a legal pad. Yeah, what's up?
Since the age of 18, what percentage of the time would you say your hair has been your natural color?
Oh, um, 18. Well, I mean, can I get a couple of years before that because I like started dyeing my hair when I was
That's true. That's true. I remember that.
like 14.
Yeah.
I let some goth girl um talk me into dyeing my hair black, and that was a terrible idea.
I dyed my hair black too, and it was a terrible idea.
Yeah. Dyeing your hair black is a really interesting concept because no one really has, black hair. No one really has pink hair. Um,
Yeah, but at least if
I don't
your
know.
eyebrows are relatively light colored, like the pink sort of matches. But even if you have like brown eyebrows, I feel like the black it still clashes. Black clashes with everything.
Yes,
Yeah,
except for pink.
except for pink.
Pink and black look great together. I don't know. I haven't dyed my hair in a while, and I probably won't for a while. My wedding pictures, I do have blue hair, and
Okay.
that was like a couple of years ago. Um,
I
I
think I'm
don't know.
about to get back into dyeing my hair more than likely, but I still don't know what I'm gonna do yet. I don't know if I like want to go big the first time or like ease into it.
Have you thought
Uh,
about not having any hair like me?
That wouldn't look
oh,
very
just like
girly.
male pattern baldness
Yeah, just you should
as a
try it. It's
choice.
great. Yeah, it's more of a lifestyle than a choice, but
I could
it's
shave and just wear wigs.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's a
you could
valid
just
possibility.
shave in the pattern of the male pattern baldness.
No, again, that would not look very femme.
You could just get a huge like 17th century style wig that's hollowed out, so you could put it on top of your hair and
Hmm.
still wear a wig.
Hmm. That's fair.
Mm,
Interesting.
mm,
I'm
terrible.
onto something here. I don't know what,
If it's good or bad, we don't know.
but we know it's a thing.
We know
Oh
it's
yeah.
a thing, and it might
It,
be a good thing, and it might be a bad thing.
Yeah.
so yeah,
All
it's
right.
fucking hot. It's fucking hot in the swamp, and stay away.
Stay away.
Stay away. My cats love it though. The cats love the hot swamp. They love it when the power goes out for hours at a time, so the air conditioner cuts off. They like that.
They like that?
Oh yeah, they fucking love it. Cats, yeah, they love to be
I think
warm,
everyone enjoys that. That's just like a natural part of life.
probably.
Probably. All right.
So we got some sponsors, right?
Oh yeah. Artie, you want to tell them what the first
Yeah,
sponsor is?
tell them about our sponsors.
All right. Well, our biggest sponsor, as always, is Reddit. Go to Reddit. It's what do they call it? The marketplace of the internet, the hub of the internet,
Brain poison.
the brain poison of the internet. Yes. If you are looking for internet brain poison, then Reddit is your one-stop shopping place. I mean, you can get that's the Donald brain poison. You can get r-4chan brain poison. You can get the memes from Site 19 brain poison. There's lots of anime brain poison wherever you look. If you're into Rule 34, I mean, just have fun, really. So yeah, that's Reddit, and I use Reddit every day, not just for porn, but for other stuff too. And
Yeah.
Wait. There's other stuff on Reddit other than porn.
Nope.
you have to look in the. It's called r-weather. I think that's the
I
only
go
one.
on world
That's
news and all I see are tits. I don't know. It's weird.
Well, it's
I can't
true.
even.
The girls announcing the temperature are always topless, and they are
I
sometimes having sex.
so
But
so what I have to say is that I recently took off all of the porn that I had subscribed, like all the
wow, you delisted your porn account?
I did. I didn't delist it. I just unsubscribed from everything because when I wake up in the morning and I take a shit and then I get on my computer and I don't know, this might be a hot take. This might be a little whack, but I feel like scrolling between world news and then tits and ass and whatever is just has affected me.
But
Like
it
it's
sounds like you
like
made a rookie
consuming.
In
mistake.
the best possible way.
You got to have a porn account and a regular account. Don't
See, I don't believe
mix.
in that.
Don't
No,
mix.
that's why would you
What
signing
if
out of one thing,
you're
getting in
scroll?
another?
It's literally a
That's
but. They save it in there, and then you just have a button. and then another button. You just click a
Well,
button,
see,
and then you click another button.
there's only one me. I want one account, and it's too much work. Anyway, this was supposed to be a serious thing,
Yeah.
but I just think that it is probably bad for my brain to combine all the types of information constantly.
I feel like
I
it could
mean,
be a well of creativity.
I think it stifles my creativity.
Mm.
apparently
I
when you
Hmm.
whack it, it excretes a lot of magnesium and other things that we don't really get too much of in our diet. So it's actually slowing us down.
Wait,
Do-
jacking off?
Yeah,
Oh, I
So
thought you were talking about Reddit. I was like, Reddit? You're eating
that
Reddit?
too.
They started
We have
making
to-
candies.
That too. That too.
we have to
Guys,
learn to
let's
edge.
let's keep it
We have to start edging
I
to
mean,
keep the magnesium inside.
to keep the magnesium
Yes.
inside.
Don't quote me on that. I may have read that on Twitter or something, so it's true. But
Well,
don't
you were
quote me on
supposed to. You were supposed
You
to
read that
say-
on Bodybuilding World and you know it.
Well, we're sponsored by magnesium, so. That's,
Also-
magnesium. It's good for you.
You guys know that Bodybuilding World's the gayest site on the internet, right?
all right, let's check it out. I want to see these guys.
Like the forums. It's literally just like they've been around forever.
Okay. All right, yeah, that's pretty gay. I'm into it. Let's go.
Oh yeah. Mm. Should I show them? Let's see. Is that the
yeah,
screen
I mean,
capture?
we're gonna
Folks,
get
if you're listening in, you got to go to what's the website?
magnesium.com.
Magnesium.com,
Mhm.
where there's a link that will forward you to what's that bodybuilder website?
Where is it? Bodybuilding World forums?
I just went to bodybuildingworld.com.
There you go, folks. You
Oh,
heard
is it
it.
bodybuildingworld.com?
That's all I typed.
So you go there, you see all the homosexuality.
That
You feel
that did
inspired.
not lead me to the right place, I don't think.
You feel inspired. You go to patreon.com/this podcast name. You subscribe.
Oh, we never said the podcast name during the intro.
Because it doesn't have one yet.
I thought
Next
we
time we'll
okay.
have- yeah.
I thought we had an agreement. All right, well, let's just roll into our first YouTube segment of the day. Now that we've
Alright.
advertised for Reddit and
gentleman-
edging.
And magnesium.
We are sponsored. No, we're not sponsored by magnesium. We're sponsored by edging.
Okay.
Yes.
Which keeps the magnesium inside.
Which keeps the magnesium inside. That's why we consider them such a great sponsor, because their product is just amazing. It keeps the magnesium inside.
That's what that's the slogan.
That's edging for you.
I'm just imagining like that headline on Pornhub. Edging
magnesium inside.
Magnesium inside.
That actually would be for any porn website, because that would kill their clientele.
Okay. Excuse me. All right, so let's roll into our first video of the day. Can you guys see this on my screen? How do I do this?
Screen share.
So I got a screen share on my Streamlabs and screen share on here. God, that's so much work. Okay. Let's go live. Are we live? Oh yeah. So,
Alright.
it's a quick, like 30, 35 second clip. I think it might be the funniest thing in the history of the world. And I'll explain why. All right, here we go.
Fan-based parody. Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball GT are all owned by Funimation,
You turn it up?
Animation, Fuji TV, and
How do I-
Akira Toriyama.
Huh?
Please support
On the
official
player.
release.
Oh.
There.
What the hell is going on here?
Let's answer your question with another question.
Yeah? And what's that?
Wanna see me drink this
Guy got sucked.
Guy got sucked. Okay. So I have three things. Yeah, I have three things that I want to start with. So number one is just the surreal weirdness, right? Like the lead in is so well done with like what the fuck is happening, and then he's like you have a character that's literally asking what the fuck is happening, right? Like it's a very everyman like my response to this situation. The second part is the is the scream itself. It is so perfectly timed and so satisfying. Let me just play it one more time.
Question.
Yeah? And what's that?
Wanna see me drink this guy?
All right.
I didn't hear it, so
I'm I'm gonna send you some headphones. I'm gonna ship you some headphones over
what?
Amazon.
Yeah, do that.
Okay. And then the last one is that this is the cold open for the episode, right? Like, it just immediately segues into the opener. Like, I just, everything about it, the timing of the stream, the length, and then just the hard cut to the opening, just makes me giggle like crazy every single time. So that's my take. Let's kick it open to the floor now that I've talked about it for 3 minutes.
Okay. Can you just bring up a picture of his first form?
Of Cell?
Yeah, let's just look at him for a minute. Let's look at him. Let's look at the bug creature. Which is also an android. He's supposed to be an android.
Fun fact, folks, Cell is from another timeline.
Let's see. Okay. I couldn't run the video at the on here because then the audio was reverbing on the stream. But here we go.
All right. So first impressions. Artie, what's your first impression of this creature?
Well, he looks a bit intimidating because he doesn't have a nose or a mouth.
Mm-hmm.
I don't trust things with no noses or mouths.
You can't read its emotions.
Facial expressions, yeah, and I'm not really digging the cameo green. I would prefer the kid Cell form, the blue, like when he spits out little Cell Juniors.
That was pretty cool. I like the blue color a lot. I agree.
Yeah, blue Cell is the superior Cell.
So what I'd like to say is that I'm really offended by his waist size because I think it promotes unrealistic expectations of beauty. Just really want to point that out.
Agreed. As a fellow android, I think that's unfair.
It's totally unfair. I mean, how can any android compare with a waist like that?
My creator was a dick.
Such a dick. Fox,
right,
what about you?
Let's talk about his hat.
His hat?
Yeah. All right.
Can we get a close up of his hat?
Is that part of his head?
Oh, it looks like a hat, but it.
All right, so we have a good shot of Cell from behind here.
Yeah. So it looks like his hat is It looks like, well, first of all, it looks like its head is connected to its tail because you got that orange.
Yeah.
I
guess when he juices people, it goes straight to his brain or something. You know, he gets like a big high.
That's how I do it.
Yeah. When I commit vor, that's how I do it.
Well, not really.
I would be really happy if none of my readers knew what that word meant.
Well, you're out of luck.
I am out of luck.
Okay, so
let's see.
Do you think that he could get a job doing something that isn't sucking people in his body?
I mean, he's really good at sucking people, so that means he's also really good at sucking people off, which means he always can have a job working the streets. But if you want to talk about like a 9-to-5 or like taxable income, that kind of thing, then disposal. I feel like if he's like in New York or LA,
he's fine. He's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, he's fine. He's not any weirder than half the homeless people out there.
He's not any weirder than half the guys that work the bodegas.
That is true. He'd be indistinguishable from.
Yeah, he'd just be a guy behind the counter at a bodega.
So this is his first form.
Yeah. Should I pull up a picture of his second form?
Technically, this is his incomplete form. His complete form is after he's sucked up those other two android biatches.
All right, so here that's a good image
It's
right
a
there.
potent image right there.
Yeah,
So
so
we have
I
him
may have to use this in
penetrating,
some of my writing, I think.
and we have him penetrating the man, which appears to be looks like a penis.
Yeah.
Um,
But
it
you can see
kind
that
of
the
does.
the penis itself isn't penetrating the man, just the very long foreskin of the penis.
Hmm. Yeah.
well, they do say that the knee is the fourth hole, so the back of the knee, I should say. So really, he's just going for the back of the knee through the long way
But no,
around.
no, no. But what I think we should talk about is if you take this as a commentary on sex, what is it saying to us?
I don't know.
Yeah, I wish I knew. I think I'd have a more successful marriage if I knew what this image was trying to tell me.
I think it
Yeah.
might be a sort of like a Rorschach blot image, where people sort of see what they want to see in it, right? Like some people notice the green, right? Some people think like, man, those buildings behind them also look like penises.
I mean, if this is a Rorschach test, then I'll admit that this image makes me a bit uncomfortable. Having sexual relations outside with a sky like that and buildings and people in the background, it's not my cup of tea.
So I want to point out something that's like there's a continuity error here in this photo right here.
Okay.
So if you see where the stinger goes into the human, the the fabric that's torn is pointing upward.
Ooh,
Hmm.
It
that is
should
a
it should be folding in.
that's a very that's a spot right there. Damn.
So I got
Maybe the force of the suck is pulling it up.
yeah.
Ooh. Like maybe
But
maybe it originally went in, right? And then he
Mhm.
sort of like pulled it up a little bit to reach the optimal depth,
Mhm.
and then like that pulled the fabric back out.
I can only imagine that the tip of the stuck begins about an inch to 2 inches down.
Oh, I would say 3. With how wide it is, that'd be a hard taper to end in 2 inches.
I think
Well,
that we could all agree that the animators of this scene put a lot of thought, in, and they really appreciate us spending 10 minutes really analyzing this one image.
all right, can we get after he sucked enough people, he turns into can we get the next
Wait,
The
wait.
next one
I
is
just
when
want to
he's
add this little scene
oh,
right here.
okay. Oh, there he is.
Oh,
Okay,
God, I
so
think I'm gonna
so
suck
he
on
takes the
five.
bones. So the bones come out of the
Yeah.
Yeah, he eats the bones and all.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
Bigelow. What
And then
must
eventually the
be
skin?
pretty
That's weird.
good.
I sensed a
shh,
disturbance.
Well, I am pretty disturbing. Remember that time I drank that guy? That was fucking weird.
So I take it you're the one who
I also love the immediate reference of the joke, right? Like
He did it and then he talked about it immediately. Yeah.
so good. All right. We got to move on to something past this. Okay.
All right. Well, can you
Oh, you want to do the second form? Second form. Let's see.
well, hold on. We'll space it out. We can space it out.
Okay.
So
We'll come
what
back
I
to
want
sell
to talk
more.
about. So we have we have the ethics. I have an ethical problem. So I sent you this picture,
Okay. Let me see this one.
and this is definitely a hot button ethical issue right now.
All right. Let me open this.
Talking about Piccolo?
There we go.
Oh,
No,
okay.
So yeah. So we have this image, and it's just stop exploring the ocean. Picture of the ocean with a circle and cross, symbolizing the no ocean. So first, we know what water is. Thanks. We know what it is. Like we don't need to know any more about water. Like I don't think that's not a cold. That's a cold take. Yeah. It's a very cold take. And then so it gets a little more controversial in here.
I
So
see.
there's no single damn thing in there that I want to see. I don't know. Like, what's in there that anyone actually really wants to see? Because we know what water is. So why would we want to see the water?
I mean, but like, what if the sand is really pretty in the water? And I would like to see pretty colored sand.
Well, you can see sand on the beach. You don't even have to go into the
Oh,
ocean.
that's true. That's true. You don't have to go into the
Yeah.
water. There's sand everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah,
That's fair.
Yeah.
you go to a volleyball court.
True. You could play volleyball and see sand.
But what if I want to
Um,
see like pink sand, and I don't want to slash anyone's throat above the sand to make it pink?
well, we'll get you some psychedelic drugs.
Okay. Okay. As long as I see
So
pretty patterns in the sand, I'm good.
so next we found everything that tastes good. We got crab and fried shrimp. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yep.
And there's the and we can find the crabs outside of the ocean, and fried shrimp are just in your local bodega on a sandwich. You don't have to go to the ocean to see the fried shrimp.
That's true.
And then, of course, a reference to the second bullet point, the 12,301,320 different types of jellyfish that can all go to hell. And those are, I don't want to see those. So that is, that's
So
the ocean.
I see the ethical dilemmas here, and they're potent ones. There's no doubt about that. I
Mhm.
mean, knowing what water is, I think, is a very important thing for children to learn
But we
before
know
the
what
age
that
of
is.
9, at the very latest, by 9. Um, and like, I feel like by 11, you've already been to the beach once and to a pool once, and like that's really all there is with water.
Well, that's kind of classist, but
I, all this water talk reminds me of a parable that I heard um, somewhere. Don't remember where. Not important. It's very short. It's like two fish are swimming in a pool of water, and one fish turns to the other and says, "The water feels warm today." And the fish responds, "What's water?"
very, very, it's very hard to see past what is actually being, like, what conversation is actually being talked about there.
Yeah, and I think that's the point. I think that's a lesson that we can all learn.
Yeah, because fish aren't smart enough to know what water is, but
No,
we don't need to tell them what it is because it doesn't matter because they're fish.
exactly. They're inferior beings, and we should feel no qualms about eating them. Which is why I'm a little confused by bullet point number 3 because crabs are fine, fried shrimp is great, but lobster. Where's the lobster? I.
Well, we all know that a lobster is just a long crab that's basically a fried shrimp.
I mean, that is true in many ways.
We already know what that is.
Okay, but there's got to be other seafood here. Like, where are the artificial crab legs?
Mm. Well, those come from a factory in Middle America, and
Well,
they're terrible. Don't eat those.
Don't eat those.
Don't
but
eat
what
those.
about all the magnesium?
Well, if you want to bring up our sponsor, magnesium, again, you're going to have to make a good point so people want to keep the magnesium inside.
Look, here's the thing, folks. When you're presented with an artificial crab meat stick, you can say to yourself, "I'm gonna eat you," or "I'm gonna not eat you and save my magnesium."
Keep it
Make the
inside.
right choice. Put
When
that
in
crap.
when in doubt, keep that magnesium in. You never know when
That's
you'll need
right.
it. It's always
That's
good
right.
to have a backup supply.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, your body can actually store up to 30 cubics of magnesium. It can store the cubics.
My body can store 32.
Wow. Not everyone's as blessed as you.
It's
And
okay.
you, so when your body stores it, it's just stored in cubes, and the
Uh,
normal
I
is
mean, yeah. See, it's if it wasn't in cube form, then you couldn't store it properly because
well, you
it wouldn't be.
die.
Well, it wouldn't be symmetrical, so it'd be hard to stack, But because they're cubes, they're easy to stack, and that's really how I carry it all. I process it all. My body knows what to do
Uh-huh.
because
It, it
They're
it
nice
carries
flat surfaces.
it
They're
carries
not
the
even regular.
cubes around your body,
Mm-hmm.
and it
Mhm.
disperses the cubes equally.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like discovering America or anything when I say that everyone knows that the human body is comprised of numerous cubes.
We're all just a bunch of cubes.
Yeah, I mean,
So this is cube theory, and we don't have to go into it, because
okay,
I don't.
there could be a
But
whole semester's worth on the cube theory. We should
yeah,
move past that.
We should move
all right.
past it for now.
We'll talk about it next time.
All right, what are we rolling over to now?
Okay, so the jellyfish can go to hell part. I kind of agree with that.
Let's wrap this up. Yeah, fuck
But I think
jellyfish.
they're pretty to take pictures of sometimes though.
Yeah, that's how you should kill them and then take pictures of them.
Of the corpses.
Of the corpses in the moonlight. Corpses in the moonlight. That's actually
If
a
you're
really good.
lucky,
That's a really good
no.
band name. Corpses in the Moonlight.
Jellyfish corpses in the moon.
That's a weirder
Yeah.
band name, but almost better somehow. Jellyfish
That is-
corpses in the moonlight.
I feel like that band would play ska.
That band would play ska.
Well, we don't need to talk about ska.
Okay, so I got another one. I got
First rule
another
is
one
ska.
for
You never
us.
talk about ska.
So let me roll this over, and God, I'm operating too many things at once. Alrighty. So, got a nice little, just a little four-page comic strip, four pane comic strip.
Panel.
4-panel comic strip. That's the word. That is the word. So we start with Bob. Are you ready? And Bob comes out. He's wearing a very flattering dress. Great mustache. He says he's ready. And then his partner, who's still sitting down, looks a little boring, a little standard, if I could say so. Says that he can't go out like that because Bob's mustache is unkempt. And as we all know, if you're gonna wear a flattering dress, you got to make sure your mustache is well kept. So
The first thing that I'm noticing about Bob
yeah,
is look at those hogs. Look at those pigs. Look at those big old feet.
the fingers of the feet. Yeah, I
Oh,
didn't
yeah,
notice that. Those are some smacking feet right there.
Big old foot sausages.
Huge dogs.
I gotta say the boots look good on him though. Although, are they wearing matching shoes? Because that's
They
a
are.
little gay, to be honest. It's a little gay.
Well.
Well.
And then I'm also noticing that they have this picture framed on the back of the wall that is very, very uncomfortable.
Yes, agreed. It looks like a UFO or a frisbee or something circular is about to land on the little figure's head.
Also, it's not a picture of them because they're clearly about the same height. So who's it a picture of?
That's deep lore. We're gonna have to contact the artist.
I honestly think we need to contact Warren Pease and
Okay.
get an answer about this from them because it's really bothering me now.
I mean, if we're gonna ask him that, then we have to ask him what happened to the lamp because the lamp disappears in the last two frames.
Well, I feel like maybe we've just shifted perspective a little bit. Like, no, we haven't though.
That's
No, see, you got a little more of the coffee cup here, but then here, like, maybe they zoomed in. I feel like this is a little more zoomed in. See, the chair is closer to the front.
I think that we just need to let them know that this panel confuses and angers me, and that I don't appreciate it, and that they can go to hell. Or, yeah.
Or fix it, or they can fix it.
Or they can fix it.
Just like his.
I mean, I guess.
Bob's mustache. Even though Bob's mustache looks exactly the same.
Well, guys,
In the last panel.
don't worry. When I become famous, I'll get Warren Pease to redo it for me, just like as a personal favor.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's roll on through. I don't know what's next. Oh yeah, this one's next. So I actually used this in a story because I thought it was so good. All right, so we got the millennials over here and Gen Z over here. They're just saying hi. And then the millennials just kind of wanted to they were wondering if Gen Z would join them in watching the world crumble before we hit the age of 40. And
I don't.
then they just sort of hanging out on a couch. They're watching the TV, but I guess, like most news channels, they're just using Reddit as a primary source now. So here we go. British Prime Minister resigned. Germany's rearming. Japanese ex-prime minister was assassinated. The Chinese modified their constitution to give Xi Jinping even more power. And Russia, beating up on Ukraine a little bit right now. So it looks like it's all coming together. And that's the meme.
So we're just gonna ignore the fact that she's a groomer.
I mean, like, he could be as old as 25, and she could be as young as 26.
Good point.
There's no such thing as a 26-year-old millennial in 2022.
Well, what age are millennials? And also, millennials directly border Gen Z, so the theoretical age difference could always be 1. Okay?
That's not how generations work.
So is there a gap between millennials and Gen Z where there's just like, hey, you're born in this gap here, you're not part of either group? Like, I don't understand.
No, you're just a weird cusp. You're hated by both.
But
You
I'm
belong
saying,
nowhere.
you said the millennial is a groomer, and I'm pointing out that the Gen Z person could be literally 1 year younger.
And I'm saying that's still grooming.
Well, I groom a lot of dudes then.
Well, we can talk about that later. That doesn't excuse her behavior just because you do it.
Okay, groomer.
Okay, groomer. Wait, who's the big groomer right now? Ezra. Ezra Miller,
Yeah.
the Flash. I always thought of
I'm
Ezra.
happy that the Jews finally have a positive figure for representation.
Is Ezra Miller a Jew?
I mean, yeah, just look at it.
So I actually met him, and I didn't even know who he was when I met him.
Did he try to groom you?
No, but he
Did he touch your butt?
he tried. I swatted his hand away playfully and said, "Later."
Later,
Baby.
alligator.
But he came to one of my shows at Gasa Gasa, and he didn't say much.
Did you say Gasa
was
Gasa?
It's a club. Yeah, it's a venue down here.
All
in
right.
the swamp.
Interesting.
So
Alright.
let me see.
You got one for us?
And maybe in a second.
Boris, did you bring any memes along?
Oh, did I? I have a ton of memes that I can share. I just need to figure out how to transfer them from my phone to.
Oh, you're one of those guys. You keep them all on your phone?
Yeah.
Dude, I
have folders.
have my folders like labeled and everything. Like, if I do like a piece that involves more than 5 images, I'll just like create a folder for that piece specifically. So organized. That's what it's all about.
Well,
here I can we can talk about this. I'll just send this to you.
Okay.
Put it in the chat. And there's a lot to unpack here. Yeah.
Interesting.
And since you're a chess player, I think that you'll be able to really tell us what's happening here.
All right.
I'm gonna post something in the chat, but you guys can ignore it until we're ready to talk about it.
That's fantastic.
Whomstev has the advantage. Okay.
All
Let's
right,
see. I mean, like, it's
Bring it up, bring it
honestly,
up.
this looks at least like. Oh, is it not up?
You gotta switch to your Discord.
There we go.
Okay. All right. So who's winning here?
Well, I would say like whites, like they're at least like 6 to 10 turns into the game, so I don't think 3 land cards is really that good of a draw. Like 6, like if he's 6 turns in the game, 3's okay, but like 10 turns, that's not a happy player right there.
I'm not wearing my glasses, but is that crack rock next to the magic cards?
It's not labeled.
Drug. It's a performance enhancing drug.
Okay.
So it might be like Adderall or something like that.
Okay.
Now, when I look at this, I do see the illegal number of rooks, and that definitely gives an advantage.
Yeah.
But that third rook is pretty isolated and might get taken next turn. So I really don't know if those rooks are helping out player B much.
Would you consider it hanging?
Yes, it's a hanging rook.
Okay.
Very
I would
much like a
consider
hanging Chad, except larger.
Yeah, bigger than a
Mhm.
chat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
much
But
bigger.
so
If you know what I mean.
Like a chode sized chat.
Oh yeah.
thick.
Mhm.
Thick,
But
meaty,
let's talk about
veiny.
the draw four card.
Yeah, I mean
So
that's big. Uh,
that could really give black like the ultimate advantage here.
yeah. I mean that's gonna set white back a few turns. I feel like black, with that Colt 22, right? Like once it gets a little bit ahead, that Colt 22 becomes obviously more powerful. It's really a good tool when you're ahead, but not so good when you're behind.
Yeah, so right before you put your opponent in checkmate, you shoot the board um, to give your opponent another chance to reorganize the pieces in a better position. It's just it's nice to do that.
It's a common courtesy when you really have
It's a
them up against the ropes.
Yeah, you shoot the board one time, two times, three times, and the pieces go everywhere, and you duck under the table and you spin around, and then you stand up, and however the pieces are repositioned by your opponent, you just play it as it is.
Yeah. But
So,
but the opponent
mhm,
cannot touch your rooks, which I guess is why that third rook comes in handy.
yeah, and
So
when you're spinning around under the table, there's a third player that looks like they just enter the game and they just play. They have one red piece.
Yeah. Yeah.
already likes playing the third player position.
It's I've heard
That's my
that. I've
favorite.
heard
It's
And
the
so
best because that's my only piece, and it's well,
well, and the goal is really just to get in the way of the other players doing anything productive, right? And it's a really fun position to play because you collect salt, and if you get enough salt, you win. It's just salt collection, and I feel like
Yeah.
Artie, you're great at salt collection. I mean, Boris.
Well, he's gonna
are you
go
calling
to.
me salty?
No, I'm saying you're great at collecting salt.
Yeah, you like to collect other people's salt.
Yes, you're a salt generator, not a generator. That would be a salty person. You're a salt
Hmm.
cultivator.
I feel
You're a farmer of salt. You're a man
I
of
feel
the
I'm
salty earth.
borderline. I'm borderline offended. I'm not sure if I should cross that threshold and be fully offended or not. I'll think
Well,
about it. I'll get
I
back
think
to you.
you. Okay, well, I think you should be fully offended and say something rash that you'd probably regret.
Yes, I agree completely.
Okay, well, if okay, so let me just take in this news and just be aghast at what we were talking about earlier that I forgot already. Um, someone just walked behind you, Miles, and that was really distracting.
I saw a floating cat.
Sam, you're distracting the podcast. Wait, do you want to be
God.
the guest next week? Cool.
But
What were we talking
Twitch,
about?
and then we'll post. Then it's recorded, and we'll post it to YouTube. Discord? Yeah, absolutely. All right.
and so to
Sorry.
it's okay
It's
to
advertising. It's free real estate.
to follow up um on that here I'll like before we get to Artie's Boris's meme. This is a good representation of just chess in general. Um,
Sorry, I gotta text the guy I'm kind of dating.
uh, well,
Yeah, I feel like in real chess, the rules don't really matter.
The rules are more
yeah,
like guidelines, and if you can get away with something, you get away with it. That's why you
Yeah.
see the chess players always recording stuff on paper because like one of the rules is if the other person gets away with something, then they get away with it. So you gotta like keep track of what's going on.
and no one yeah, so there's actually it's you're not allowed to spectate any games of chess because there are no real rules and you can't enforce the rules that aren't there. So you
Yeah.
can't have anybody watching just in case they're not going to unenforce a rule that doesn't exist in the game.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
This
So
is why I prefer to play games where the rules are just a little bit more cut and dry. I mean, I'm not asking for a lot here, but maybe just written down would be nice.
Yeah.
so
The
like
same
checkers. Checkers.
checkers, yeah, yeah, checkers, or I mean, how in the hell does someone play X's and O's?
I don't think anyone really knows how to play that game.
I don't think anyone really knows the rules. I play a very primitive, basic, just
So
ask.
how many turns do you get? Do you get one turn? I feel like I feel like both players get one turn.
Well, whoever
Someone, someone draws an X.
whoever can piss the furthest gets to go first. So that's step one. Is you have a pissing contest.
Literal.
Uh,
Nice.
literal. Yeah. Step two is then that person goes, and then the other person goes after him or her, and then or them, and then it's a continuous cycle of players going one after the other.
I heard that there was only 2 turns, but that might have been a bad source.
It depends what version you're playing. In Russia, they give you a turn and a half, and you're supposed to then thank Putin.
Mm. That makes sense. That makes sense. Very Russian approach. All right, let's roll on. I got a more aggressive one, a little less.
All right. All right. All right.
Wait. I shared some memes. What happened to the
Oh.
knowledge?
Let Boris have his time in the meme light.
All right. Let's see.
We don't have to spend too long on these, but I just thought that these would enhance your lives. So feel free to share it with the folks, Miles.
Well, I think we should spend a ridiculously long time on them. So
I mean, that's
I
that's
don't
your
know.
problem.
So, guys, I try not to do super ultra political stuff because I have a job and stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll skip
So
the first one.
let's
We'll
skip
move
the
down to the
first one.
second one.
All
Yeah, that one was spicy.
right. Okay.
all right.
Baku Eyes of History. That makes it so much better somehow. Like the one typo
Yeah.
really sells that this is a child, like a 14-year-old boy, writing this. You know?
Yes. I mean, I gotta say, the strategy is sound.
It is. It's a strong turn.
I can't think of a reason why this won't work.
It's his turn.
It's a brave strat, and it's hard to pull off. But if you can pull it off, um, it's probably gonna kill you.
Bold strategy, Cotton.
Yeah.
Bold strategy.
So,
Now I have to
I
say, it is a very attractive dragon, and clearly they tried to give it the impression of breasts by adding a little blue titties onto the dragon.
mhm.
I
So
mean, it reminds me of a statue. Have I ever told you the time I fucked a statue?
I think you told me you fucked a statue, but not the time at which you fucked it.
Okay.
It was many moons ago. I can't recall the actual time and place, but I was balls deep in a game of Dungeons and Dragons. Are
Mm.
you familiar with it?
I've heard of the dungeons, but not really the dragons so much.
Well, this is the dragon from Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So this is
There's
the
a statue
dragon.
of a dragon. Yeah,
This is
we were
this
walking
is
through
the
a
dungeon
dungeon.
dragon, as
Yeah,
boomers would say.
and I saw the statue, and I gotta say, it was wearing nothing but a sheer, and you could see the nipplage, and so I knew that statue was asking for it. So I rolled, and I got a natural 20, baby. And
So did having
yeah,
sex with a statue open a secret passage?
if I open a secret passage, you mean give me
No.
some sort of
No.
rare
No.
statue disease? Then
No.
yes.
Nope. Not what I meant.
Okay, so were your genitals intact?
Uh, you should see the other guy.
Oh my.
You should see the other guy.
Yes, but to answer your question, my
You
genitals
should
were
see
intact.
You should see the other
You should see the other guy.
guy.
No, you should see the other guy.
You guys realize we're not doing one serious thing this whole podcast, right? This is just a pure meme cast, the first one.
Well, that's
This is serious.
This is yeah.
This
Thank
is
you.
very
I'm
serious.
taking my
Thank
job
you.
very seriously right now. I'm offended that
Thank
you are clowning around. Let's
Mm.
let's get focused.
Get focused.
Okay.
All right,
All
all
right.
right, all right. We got it. We got another from you, don't we? Oh yeah, this one. I
No,
like.
just this.
Wait, what? I'm pretty sure Richard literally sent this to me today as well.
Well, that was just to show you that.
Yeah, he literally sent this to me today. That's funny.
That's a good one.
All right, but
So
so
let's
we
just-
got chess be like. And do you want to break it down for us, Artie? Like, who are these pieces that we're looking at one by one?
I, here's the thing. My knowledge of Catholicism is not as up to date as it should be,
Oh, that's fair.
but I assume that's a cardinal because of his red robe and his white, not nearly ornate pope hat.
Yes,
Um,
I agree. I think that's a
so
very good deduction.
I think that Pope Frank, see Francis and I aren't. We're really close. I call him Frank. Pope Frank is, doing some kind of crazy reforms over there in Italy town or whatever the fuck the Vatican's called these days.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see that, he made a declaration that in the Bible it says that chess has to be played with green army soldiers, plastic soldiers, and flying horses.
Hmm.
So I mean, he's a wise man, that Pope Frank, and
Is that the queen?
Yes.
to be determined.
Okay.
She's not my queen.
Well, see, what I see here as being the meta joke, the first meta joke, is that the pawns are the green soldiers. Okay. Okay.
Ah,
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Very, 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 driven and relevant commentary that no one has ever made before. I think, to be honest.
Do you know why we call infantrymen privates?
No.
No.
Because according to Habermas, Jürgen Habermas, they are outside of the public sphere. They're private possessions of the government. Therefore, they're not allowed to comment on politics and have other arbitrary rules that people in the military have to follow. And it derives from,
I don't think
well,
those are arbitrary rules. I think those are good rules.
well, I'm saying arbitrary rules in terms of segregating society into those that are considered the public versus those that are not considered the public.
Do you consider yourself a member of the public?
Yeah, because living in the 22nd, 21st century, whatever century this is.
You're not a member
According
of the resistance?
Well, according to chronology, this could be the 17th century, and we've just been miscounting for hundreds of years because of a bunch of
We are
rank
not going to
forgery.
do this argument again. This is a ridiculous
like it.
argument.
It's a true argument. We're living in a lie. This is actually 1776 right now. That's the real year. Gary
We
Kasparov
have-
agrees with me.
No, we have Chinese sources, we have Indian sources, we have Arabic sources, we have European
Yeah,
sources.
all forgeries. All forgeries.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
This is more ridiculous than Finland not existing. Because I could at least buy Finland not existing and just being like a part of Sweden that they call Finland for fun, or a part of Russia
Yeah.
that they call Finland for fun, or maybe both. Like maybe it actually got divided at some point, and now they just
Yeah.
pretend that Finland's still there.
you want to hear a related joke?
Yes.
Poland.
Yeah, I mean,
That's the joke. Poland.
I mean,
Not-
yeah,
not-
it's Poland. It's just
Yeah.
Poland. Poor Poland.
It's just
So-
Russia and Germany waiting to happen.
Poland can into space though.
Wait,
No,
what? No?
you got that reference? This is an old reference. Poland ball. Poland can into space. Wow, can't believe you didn't get the Poland ball reference. I feel like that's like an IR person's like domain of memes.
So I have a really controversial image that I'm about to show here.
Okay.
I'm going to share it.
Alrighty, I'm
Here
gonna
it
send you
is.
Poland ball. I'm gonna find it.
All right. Here we go. And you can share it. You can talk about it.
Where is my controls? Boom. No, that's the wrong one. All right. Wait, is this it?
You'll know when you see it.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's some spicy gorilla right there.
Very controversial.
Yeah.
Um,
Gorillas are so controversial today. I don't know why.
Why? Is it
We'll
because
pull
that
it.
gorilla is starving?
You should pull it up. Pull up the image.
Did I not have it open?
There he is. There he is. Yeah. Yeah. Look at that.
I mean, like, all I can say is nice arms. You know, like those forearms. Whew, gotta climb a lot to get forearms like that. He
Yeah,
does
very
look skinny.
controversial.
Why is he so skinny? Is he meant to
I
be
don't
this
think.
skinny?
Malnourished. What do you mean? Why is he skinny? He's underfed. This is a horrible picture of an abused animal.
That's why it's so controversial. But also, it kind of looks like a dog.
Yeah, it's getting there.
Yeah. Just don't feed it for another 2 weeks. He'll basically be a dog.
That's
Okay,
fine.
let's move on from this one. It's very depressing.
Well,
Artem,
that's
let's see what we got here.
serious.
It's not really political. It's a little political, but I think
It's just too depressing. Like, what are we gonna say? Like, shit fucking sucks. You know, it's just bullshit. But like, no one does anything about it. No one's going to do anything about it. And
Well,
you know, I
Homer
hope they kill
Simpson
more
will do
bushrangers
something
out in Southeast Asia and poaching stops and et cetera, et cetera. But like,
Oh, I thought you were just talking about the Simpsons, and I was trying to figure out what you were talking about.
yes, fuck the Simpsons. No. Okay. Simpsons.
They're only 49. Okay.
Missouri. So
Now that's a hot take.
have you guys been to the subreddit called r-oddly specific?
No.
This would be a
No.
very good r-oddly specific, right? It's just like, why that?
Is it implying that he's so old that he doesn't recognize the Missouri Compromise or something?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, that's the only thing I can think of, right?
Sorry,
But
my cat was
like,
causing problems.
which one was the Missouri Compromise? Is that the one that actually did the full split, like the northern southern, like the split parallel, or is that a different compromise? Because I feel like there are like 5 of them.
There were, I don't know, I can't remember. There were several compromises.
Yeah,
They compromised a lot, but not where it counted.
we compromise a lot too. T minus 4 years to the next civil war. Let's go.
There's one thing you can't compromise, and that's your cubes of magnesium.
Those are mine to the grave.
I would like to advance a hypothesis that I have, which is if there is an internecine civil war in the United States between red and blue states, red states will lose instantly because all of the IT, network security, and network engineer people are liberals and would just immediately crash all the electronic systems in the red states.
See, but that's where I think it's a
I don't
little.
think.
I don't think
I
that's
don't
true because the red states have all the ex-military vets, and they know how to organize, and they know how to fire guns IRL, and liberals have to relearn all that, and they're
There
gonna
are
have
plenty
the
of liberals that know how to use guns, including me.
not to the
Dude,
extent
the
that
military split
the
is
amount
like
of
60-40, and it's the opposite at the officer level. Okay,
yes.
it's
Now
only
add
enlisted
all the
men that turn
retired
Republican.
people, add all the retired military personnel of the last like 30, 40 years.
Yeah, because those old guys are really going to be able to do a lot of shit at age
No,
65.
they're not going to know. They're not going to be able to do a lot, but they have organization skills, and they
And then
have
they
like,
won't have power.
Well, you don't need power to fire a gun.
Or what are they
Yeah.
going to do? Just limp over here in a ragtag group of cars because they can't. Well, they couldn't even use cars. Like,
Because what? So the liberals set off an EMP?
yeah.
I think if the liberals set off an EMP, China would just fly right over.
yeah, I would just walk in and
What?
be like, "Sub, your
You
mind
think
now."
China wants to deal with this mess? We don't even have any rare earth metals. Like, what would the point of conquering us be?
We have magnesium.
We
Yeah.
have lots of
We want
magnesium.
them for our magnesium.
And as this podcast becomes more popular, more people will save their magnesium, and that's important.
That's the goal. If anyone learns anything, if my message gets across to one person, I just want them deep in their heart to recognize and take in magnesium is life.
Magnesium is
They need
life.
pure magnesium.
And so I also just posted a picture of something that we do have a lot of. that China might be interested in.
Mm.
The orbs are bountiful this year.
Yeah.
Did you guys know that you can find orbs on college campuses? They're hidden, but they're there.
Do they disappear when you look at them?
You just got to do the whole corner of the eye thing, you know? Like
So
I
you
feel
can't
like
look at it
you
straight
get like
on.
a half second of delay, you know, if you like turn and then you just kind of like just stare at it, the corner of your eye, then you go. That or you can do the blind walking thing, but I always trip.
Yeah, just walk with your eyes closed everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, I do that all the time.
Have you thought about picking up one of those orbs and taking it home? Oh, and we're moving on.
Oh well, that's inappropriate.
Don't pretend like you don't have three of these at home.
I fucking love it. Me waiting for her on the bed. Although honestly, if that's full mass, then I'm not that impressed, you know? Like I'm not impressed, but I'm not that impressed either.
Mm.
Well,
Well,
not everyone can have a giant cock like you.
no, I just like riding giant cocks. That's what I was
Oh,
saying.
okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, that,
Mm.
look, it's a knitted thick cock.
Yeah. But like how much thickness is the knitting adding? I feel like is an important question here.
All I know is that I bet you that's the most comfortable person in the world. Like complete relaxation and comfiness.
And he doesn't even have to put on a condom.
So we weren't gonna talk about abortion. We weren't gonna talk about any of that because that's all blown out at this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
But we need to address this.
The elephant in the room.
Yeah.
So
So,
yeah.
this is adjacent to the abortion topic, because that is where we will find him, and the Republicans don't want us trying to abort the fetus because we'll find Saddam and they won't,
Mm.
and then they'll be
Accurate.
upset.
Yeah, this is why I'm just like very pro Saddam because I believe that all women should have the right to decide what they do with their own Saddams. That's just me. I know.
uh,
Yeah. So that's.
I mean, if I had a Saddam and I had to make that sort of decision, I just don't know what I would do.
But you just see that the baby will naturally push out Saddam on its
That's
way
true.
out anyway.
That's
Yeah.
true.
So with every baby that we birth, a tiny Saddam comes out with it. And then eventually they all like meet at one spot in the desert and they like fuse together and make
I
another.
think you mean a hole in the desert.
Yeah, they all fuse together in a hole in the desert and make another Saddam, life-size Saddam.
I feel like this is like Cell coming back to life.
Well, Saddam is Cell's final form.
That's just fact.
Do you guys see they had a new dragon? Oh, all right, let's move on to the last. We're at an hour, and I want to do the serious one before we end. So let's
All right,
move
but
on
I
to that
said
one.
one last meme. One last meme
All
to,
right,
to
one last meme.
end the day.
So
Miles,
then-
you'll enjoy this one.
And then another one, maybe.
and then another one, maybe.
That's good.
Had to end it on a good note.
That's funny.
The enthusiasm level is perfect. Right? You can really imagine this guy doing this until you look at him and you're like, there's no way this guy would do this. And the girl's reaction is so appropriate, just like, I don't want to learn about this.
She is clearly thinking, what a fool. Caesar was wrong to build a wall in Gaul. There were alternatives. He could have made a tunnel instead.
Or she's focusing on the sports ball game.
Yeah.
And
Astros colors orange?
You
I
can
know
tell the
so
guy in
little
the
about
crowd
baseball.
trying really hard not to turn around and stare at her boobs.
Okay, all right, I get my one now.
All right.
All right.
Can you guys see it?
Yeah.
All right, take a second.
Well, let's read it out loud.
All right, the hard truth about autism acceptance that a lot of people don't want to hear is that autism acceptance also inherently requires acceptance of people who are just weird. And yes, I mean those TM people, middle schoolers who growl and bark and Naruto run in the hallways, 30-somethings who live with their parents, furries, 14-year-olds who identify as star gender and use neo pronouns, picky eaters, adults in fandoms, people who talk weird, people who dress weird. Because autistic people shouldn't have to disclose a medical diagnosis to you to avoid being mocked and ostracized for stuff that, at absolute worst, is annoying. Ruthlessly deriding people for this stuff and then tacking on, oh, but it's okay if they're autistic, does absolutely nothing to help autistic people, especially when undiagnosed autistic people exist. Like it or not, if you want to be an ally to autistic people, you're going to have to take the L and leave eccentric, weird people alone, even if you don't know them to be autistic. You shouldn't be looking for acceptable reasons to be mean to people in the first place. Being respectful should be the default. And then there's this little global warming takeoff comic that I really like, which is, what if they're neurotypical and we create a better world for nothing? So, yeah, I thought this was a particularly potent one and really touched me, and so I thought it'd be a good one to bring in and talk about.
I think the people that do make fun of weird people, th- they're just gonna do that no matter what.
Yeah,
And if they
shitheads are
say,
shitheads.
yeah, so I mean, listen, like, there's a line for comedy. There's like a line. If it's funny, then it's funny. But if it's mean, then it's mean. And you kind of like, if you want to
Yeah.
make statements about certain things, it has to be really fucking funny, or else it's just mean.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's
But
why good
sometimes
comedy is
mean can
great.
be funny.
Well,
Yeah,
all funniness involves some sort of meanness, right? Like,
deprecation. Yeah.
yeah,
But so it's like I just think the people that are mean to weird people, like depending on their like how they express themselves, is that's just. And I wouldn't even think that those people would just say that they accept autism anyway. I think the people that would they would be like, "Ha, you're fucking autistic, idiot." Like, so I don't know. I think it's good to say stuff like this, but
I still
I
think
think it.
there are a lot of like ally people in the world that do this exact same thing though.
Well, then they're not allies.
Even if they don't make fun of them out loud, right? It's still that sort of internal judgment and dismissal process, right?
Well,
Which is,
that's
if they're weird but they're not autistic, then I should just dismiss them as a person.
well, I don't like the word ally. I think that's a
Yeah.
really I
I
think
agree.
that I don't like that word at all because then like it's just another label for to
It's also just a feel good thing for people who want to feel good
yeah.
about themselves.
So, you can be supportive and not an ally. Like
Yeah.
I'm anti I'm pro love. I think is the best way to say it because like being anti hate is weird. Or
I mean, I see. I would actually say that I'm anti-hate and not pro-love. You can't force anyone to love anyone else, no matter what the circumstance is. Love
well,
is
we have to define
yeah.
love.
So,
Yeah.
and I don't actually like the language about um like treating all people with respect because I feel like we should be treating all people so that no one is physically harmed or like abused. But that has nothing to do with respect. I think
I
those are
think you're
very different.
using a different type of respect.
Maybe, yes. There, yeah, I guess there could be
I
different
think
types.
you're like thinking about like respecting them as a person versus like respecting them as a human being.
Yes,
Like I
exactly.
think of
I
what
don't
they're
think
saying
that's
as like
one.
a personal
Is that not?
autonomy thing, right?
I
Like
just exactly. I don't want anyone to be harmed or society to accept violence against individuals for, inherited or chosen characteristics of themselves or anything like that. But that doesn't mean that I need to embrace those people either.
yeah. Yeah.
So if you're not embracing them,
Like you
then
should let
are
in the context of this, it's like letting weird people be weird. That doesn't mean you have to be their friend. You could just walk away. That's
Yeah.
fine too. You're not harming them, just walking away.
well, that's why, in my opinion, when people say like, so Black Lives Matter, and then the response to that was all lives matter. And so when someone says that to you, all you have to say is okay, and then that's it. You don't have to, and you don't have to engage it. It's like you can just be like, okay, because if you're saying that, I'm not gonna fucking convince you of why what you're saying is wrong and why it's wrong.
Well,
You know.
if they're saying all lives matter, then you already win because all implies within every category of people, including people that are obviously abused in our society.
And
So if you agree, I agree. All lives matter. I completely agree. Let's reform the criminal justice system to make that a reality.
yeah, yeah, and that includes Saddam Hussein. All lives.
All lives matter if they have magnesium.
Well, we're all full of it. So,
Chalk to the brim. All right. Well, any
but yeah,
final closing words on the podcast as a whole? How do you guys think take number 1 went? Thought it was okay.
I mean, yeah, this is exactly what I want to do. I want to, I want this to be a, what the idea was before is just to spend time with people that I like, and hopefully someone just thinks it's funny or informative. And, it's
I
like,
thought
I
it
don't
was
know,
funny.
yeah, and it's good to. I feel like it creates a space where I can, think about things, and I can engage in certain ideas comfortably with people that I know are not gonna judge, or because
Yeah,
you know
I agree
that's
completely.
There's only so many people I can tell that I call a Magic the Gathering card character and then have sex with it.
well
Not too many people understand, so thank you.
that was Yu-Gi-Oh,
That was
but
Yu-Gi-Oh, yeah. I was about
I'll
to
let
say
Yeah.
that
that too.
I'll
I
let
wasn't
that
paying close
slide.
Yeah.
attention, but thank you
All right.
anyway.
Well, I feel like this clip should actually become the official clip of the stream. As an answer to what's going on here. So if you guys feel good about ending on it, I feel like we'll end on it and me laughing maniacally to
Okay, let's
All right, folks, thanks for tuning in, and remember
it.
to spay and neuter your pets.
Spay neuter your pets, save your magnesium, and use Reddit. Those are our sponsors. And here we go, our outro.
What the hell is going on here?
Let's answer your question with another question.
Yeah? And what's that?
Wanna see me drink this guy?